The Hand of God. This is the name given to one of the most infamous goals in football history. It happened on June 22, 1986, in Mexico City. Argentina was playing England in the World Cup quarterfinal. The score was tied at 0 early in the second half. A ball popped high into the penalty area. England's goalkeeper, Peter Shilton, came out to catch it. Diego Maradona, who was much shorter, jumped up right beside him. Instead of using his head, Maradona slyly raised his left hand and punched the ball past the keeper into the net. The referee, Ali bin Nasser, missed the clear handball entirely and signaled a valid goal. The English players protested wildly, but the goal stood. Argentina went on to win the match 2-1 and eventually won the entire tournament. Today, this moment still matters because it perfectly highlights the limits of human refereeing before video replays, forever cementing Maradona's legacy as both a brilliant player and a cunning rule breaker. The ghost goal. The ghost goal is one of the most infamous refereeing mistakes in modern soccer history. During the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, England was playing Germany in the knockout round. Trailing 2-1, English midfielder Frank Lampard launched a massive shot from the edge of the penalty box. The ball smashed into the underside of the crossbar, bounced straight down, and landed well past the solid white goal line. Everyone in the stadium saw it go in, but the referee and the linesman completely missed it. Play simply continued as if nothing happened. England was denied the tying score, their momentum collapsed, and Germany ultimately won the game 4-1. Fans and players were furious, and television replays beamed around the world proved the officials got it wrong by at least 2 feet. This massive blunder forced FIFA to finally act. It directly triggered the fast-track development of goal line technology, permanently changing how the sport is refereed today. Italy versus South Korea. This was a round of 16 match in the 2002 World Cup that became one of the most debated games in soccer history. The referee that day was Byron Moreno. Throughout the game, he made a string of questionable calls against Italy. He let aggressive tackles slide without punishment. Then, in extra time, he gave Italian star Francesco Totti a second yellow card for diving. This sent Totti off the field, even though replays showed he likely just tripped. Shortly after, Damiano Tommasi scored what should have been the match-winning golden goal for Italy. Instead, the referee disallowed it for a highly disputed offside call. Because of these decisions, Italy was left short-handed and frustrated. South Korean forward Ahn Jung-hwan eventually headed in a golden goal in the 117th minute, winning the game 2-1. Italy was shockingly eliminated. Today, this match is still remembered by fans as a prime example of why soccer eventually needed video review technology to fix obvious referee mistakes. The Schumacher collision. This is one of the most infamous fouls in World Cup history, taking place during the 1982 semi-final between West Germany and France. French player Patrick Battiston was chasing a long pass toward the German penalty area. As he flicked the ball past the Russian goalkeeper, Harald Schumacher, the keeper did not stop or even try to play the ball. Instead, Schumacher launched himself into the air and twisted his body, driving his hip directly into Battiston's face. The brutal impact knocked Battiston completely unconscious before he even hit the grass. He lost 2 teeth, cracked 3 ribs, and damaged his vertebrae. The French captain actually thought he was dead on the field. Incredibly, the referee called no foul and simply awarded a goal kick to Germany. West Germany stayed at full strength and eventually won the match on penalty kicks. This moment still matters today because it stands as a glaring example of poor officiating and eventually helped push the sport toward stricter rules regarding player safety. The Wembley goal. This is the most famous disputed goal in soccer history. It happened on July 30th, 1966, during extra time in the World Cup final between England and West Germany. In the 101st minute, English striker Geoff Hurst fired a powerful shot. The ball smashed against the underside of the crossbar and bounced straight down. It hit the grass and was quickly headed away by a West German defender. The Swiss referee was unsure if the whole ball had crossed the goal line, so he ran over to consult his linesman, Taufik Bahramov. The linesman nodded and signaled that it was a good goal. The referee awarded it, and England took a crucial 3-2 lead. The goal shifted the momentum, allowing England to win the match 4-2 and claim their only World Cup trophy. Even today, modern video analysts and fans still argue over whether the ball actually crossed the line, making it the ultimate historical argument for modern goal line technology. Spain versus South Korea. This was a highly controversial quarterfinal match during the 2002 World Cup. South Korea was co-hosting the tournament, and they were riding a wave of massive home support. The game itself was a tense battle, but the real story happened with the officiating. The referees disallowed two perfectly good goals for Spain. First, they canceled a header by Ruben Baraja for an alleged foul in the penalty box. Later in extra time, Fernando Morientes scored another header, but the linesman wrongly claimed the ball had crossed the baseline before the cross was made. Replays showed the ball clearly stayed in play. Because those goals were erased, the match ended in a scoreless draw. It went to a penalty shootout, and South Korea won 5-3, knocking a stunned Spain out of the tournament. This match triggered a massive international debate about referee neutrality and home field bias. It became a prime example used by fans to demand the modern video review systems we see in soccer today, the Croatian penalty dive. This was a controversial turning point in the opening match of the 2014 World Cup. The host nation, Brazil, was tied at 1 goal apiece with Croatia. The pressure inside the stadium was suffocating. In the 71st minute, Brazilian striker Fred received the ball inside the penalty box with his back to the goal. Croatian defender Dejan Lovren stepped up and placed a light hand on Fred's shoulder. Instead of playing the ball, Fred instantly threw his arms back and collapsed to the grass as if he had been yanked down. Japanese referee Yuichi Nishimura fell for it and pointed straight to the penalty spot. Neymar stepped up and scored, completely shifting the momentum of the game. Brazil went on to win 3-1. This early whistle still matters today because it proved exactly how much intense home crowd pressure can sway a referee's split-second decision on the world's biggest stage. Johannesburg karate kick. This was one of the most brutal tackles in modern football history, happening right on the biggest stage. On July 11, 2010, Spain and the Netherlands faced off in the World Cup final in South Africa. In the 28th minute, the ball bounced high in the middle of the pitch. Spanish midfielder Xabi Alonso stepped up to head it forward. At the exact same time, Dutch midfielder Nigel de Jong leaped into the air with his right leg raised straight up. De Jong slammed his metal studs right into Alonso's chest. Alonso collapsed to the grass in agony. Everyone watching expected an immediate ejection. Instead, English referee Howard Webb only pulled out a yellow card. Webb simply did not have a clear view of the impact through the crowded midfield, so he hesitated to ruin the final with an early red card. Today, this violent foul stands out as the ultimate reminder of why the sport introduced video review technology, ensuring a flying kick to the ribs never goes unpunished again. The Australian heartbreak. This is the story of one of the most controversial moments in World Cup history. Back in 2006, the Australian soccer team reached the knockout stage for the first time. They faced Italy in the round of 16. The game was tied 0-0, and the referee was seconds away from starting extra time. That is when Italian defender Fabio Grosso dribbled into the penalty box. Australian defender Lucas Neal slid across the grass to block him. Neal missed the ball, leaving his body in the way. Grosso dragged his foot over Neal and fell to the ground. The referee blew his whistle and pointed to the penalty spot. Francesco Totti stepped up and smashed the ball into the net. Australia was instantly eliminated from the tournament. Fans around the world erupted in debate over whether Grosso faked the fall. Today, it remains a bitter memory for Australian sports fans and a clear example of why soccer eventually introduced video replay technology. Decisive Rome penalty. This is the controversial foul call that ended the 1990 World Cup final. On July 8, 1990, West Germany faced Argentina in Rome. The game was an ugly, defensive battle with barely any scoring chances. In the 85th minute, German forward Rudi Völler runs into the penalty area. Argentine defender Roberto Sensini slides in to steal the ball. Sensini makes minimal contact, but Völler dramatically trips and falls to the grass. The referee immediately blows his whistle and points to the penalty spot. The Argentine players surround the referee, completely furious. They wave their arms and scream in protest, feeling totally robbed. The referee ignores them. A few minutes later, Andreas Brehme steps up and kicks the ball cleanly into the bottom left corner of the net. West Germany wins the game 1-0. This single soft foul decided the lowest-scoring World Cup final in history and remains a classic example of how one referee's whistle can instantly crown a champion.